Land of the Lustrous is a manga that presents an interesting concept by introducing people that don't seem entirely human but retain aspects of humanity in them. By their own quirks and ways of living, it makes the viewer get interested in its superficial but unique concepts before taking a dive into uncovering the darker nature of how these creatures came to be, as well as our main character's evolution and how the world as they know it came to be. When I first heard about this manga, I mostly heard some people's immediate complaints because of the anime CGI animation which, even though I personally like, can understandably turn some people off. That's why, years later and still curious, I read the manga myself, and what I first thought was a silly manga about gem people developing interpersonal relationships, it was something deeper than I expected, and because of how cool it turned out to be, I'm going to talk about it. Hi, I'm Amethyst or Ame, and this is the second essay-like video I make. I've been putting off producing videos like this because of the editing process, but with the support I've been getting from everyone in my streams, it really motivated me to just produce more. We've hit over 30 subs recently, which surpassed my original first goal, so if you want to help me grow, maybe consider subscribing and liking after finishing the video if you liked it. Just by having you here, I'm already happy enough though. Also, during this video, there will be manga spoilers, so if during the introduction you get curious and don't want to know what happens next, you've been warned. With all that yapping aside, let's get into the meat of this video. Houseki no Kuni, or Land of the Lustrous, is a manga written by Haruko Ichikawa who, alongside her other manga, even won an award, has also contributed to character designs in some Pokémon games. The main premise is that we follow the story of gem people who choose their roles in their community, and the stronger ones are usually tasked with defending themselves against beings from the moon, the Lunarians, who keep trying to take the gems from their homeland back into the moon. Phosphophyllite, shortened to Phos, is one of them. They are the most brittle of all the gems, but are actively seeking battling against the moon people or being useful in general. Along the course of the manga, they build relationships with other gems and we get to understand how they work a little better. We have gems that work in the night, gems that work best during the winter, gems that aren't battle focused, and even creatures that aren't gems nor lunarians, like the Admirabiles, fish-like people. Through exploration and the story's events, Phos breaks apart multiple times and has to have their body parts replaced with different kinds of materials. For the gems, every piece of their bodies holds parts of their memories, and Phos starts losing themselves not only literally and mentally, but their goals and ambitions slowly get shifted as the story goes. They, ultimately, have good intentions, but the more they learn about the world and the other races, the more they lose themselves, and the despair Phos feels by the end of the manga really shows their human side. 5 meteors hit the Earth. On the 6th meteor, it is said that humans enter the waters and, there, they split themselves in 3, the spirit, the flesh, and the bone. As we progress through the story, although Phos ends up forgetting this information, it starts making sense for us as the readers. The Admirabiles, fleshy beings from the sea with limited lifespans are, well, the flesh. The gems, from their composition to their long lifespans as minerals, are said to be the bones. And after getting to know the beings from the moon better, the Lunarians, we get to know that they are very fitting for the role as the spirit. The way they act, too, reflect fragmented parts of their humanity, even if some show it more than others. The Lunarians, especially, show a good amount of how much humanity dwells into desires, and into attaining said desires for their own pleasure or to further their own goals which, even considering the fact that they still remember humanity, and their souls are stuck being alive still, they go decently overboard in fulfilling their desires. The gems really reflect on humanity's socialization aspects and ingenuity, even if they were guided by humanity's last robot, Kongo-sensei. And although there isn't much to say about the Admirabiles, the closest I could personally think about commenting on is their survival instincts and their willingness to keep their kingdom and lineage going forward, which reflects some of humanity's core aspects as well. I wish we had more details on them, even some kind of one-shot or something, but oh well, I can be biased since I'm a shark myself. As the story moves forward with Phos, and they lose themselves in many ways, we see the Gens and the Lunarians getting closer to each other as Foz manages to not only get to the moon to uncover the sensei's mysterious past and nature, but also to get closure about them. And also, other gems join Foz, but not all of them. Some gems stay in the land and take a different approach by basically letting him open up at his own pace and trying to be more open and understanding with each other. The Lunarians, manipulating the gems through their naivety, plan on using Kongo Sensei's original purpose into action. He was supposed to be a prayer machine, made for the spirits to pass on to the next life. However, Kongo is broken and cannot do its function. This was, all along, the reason why they kept stealing gems in the first place. They were trying to get a reaction from him in order for them to, at last, be free. From being cast aside in battle and happy-go-lucky, to being serious, feeling apathy, and ultimately being circling back to being cast aside by the few gems that still side with them, Foz breaks mentally. The absolute despair they feel by not being able to help the gems that they wanted to help, and their obsession about it twists their original goal, to the point where they are basically a shell of their former selves, even willing to destroy the opposing gems. It is stated by the Lunarians' leader in the manga, but it really is a turning point. What makes Foz the most human of them all is, in fact, their hatred. Now, why would Foz's downfall into despair and hatred be important for the Lunarians? Well, the reason Kongo cannot pray and release the Lunarians from their suffering is that Kongo needs to be given an order to pray and fulfill its purpose by a human, which Kongo did not recognize the Lunarians as, and thus set the story in motion. Through showing the most of humanity there could be, Foz was made into the perfect being to execute the prayer. Given the sensei's eyeball previously, Foz was abandoned on Earth, stuck for 10,000 years alone. Even after trying so much for the gems, and to try and help, in the end, Foz executed the prayer after 10,000 years, even though they felt disgust and spite. All the gems, now turned Lunarians, also go in the process, leaving Foz all alone. Or so it seems. By the very end of the manga, Foz is able to help the small rock creatures, similar to the gems themselves but in a simpler shape, to escape a doomed Earth into a new land. Although they, at first, accept being taken by the sun for what they did and everything that happened, a machine considered to be Kongo's brother, as they were made by the same person, gets Foz to be taken as a small piece of themselves into the new land. The little rocks, including a fragment of Foz, keep playing and singing together, but this time, not influenced by humanity. It all circles back, as that's what the gems were by the beginning of the story. Overall, Land of the Lustrous is, in its core, a story about humanity and how long can someone go before losing themselves through it. Most, if not all, of the characters show their human flaws, despite not being humans themselves. Human will is willing to go for their objectives. All of this is shown through Foz, either directly or as consequences of theirs and others' actions. Both of these themes are shown through the story, and I think that, alongside the interesting art style and concepts brought by the manga, these deeper themes really make it shine. I couldn't cover every single detail the manga has to offer, as it has a little over 100 chapters, but even if I did tell the story so far, I highly recommend checking it out. Ichikawa's art is especially a highlight, including the volume's covers. It's a refreshing and unique style, as is the tale told by the Land of the Lustrous. That's about it. This video isn't something new or groundbreaking, as Land of the Lustrous has been commented on in this regard by other people. However, as the manga has recently finally completed its run and given closure, I still think it's valid to produce new content about it. If you've made it this far, or just skipped all the way over here, I don't judge. Thank you for staying with me. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to produce these videos, so bear with me. I don't have much to add besides what I've already commented and explained on, so if you want more details about the story, I highly recommend checking it out. And well, like and subscribe, I guess, if you like the content, even though it was short. Anyway, that's about it from me for now. Bye!